Hey, this is Will with SRT Amplification, and I've got a few things I wanted to cover in this video. I don't know how long it's going to be, but one thing is the last video I did was on this Heathkit signal tracer, and I'm in the process of recapping it. I had all the electrolytics, but I didn't have all the other capacitors, so at least the values that I needed. I got a complete stock, the values that I need, plus some more to kind of put in my stock for these values here. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'll have another video out shortly once I get this recapped, and we'll go over and actually power this thing up and actually do some signal tracing with it. Another thing I wanted to show you guys was this little kit that I got. It's a heat shrink terminal kit, but it's not one of those, you guys have probably seen them where you heat it up and it solders inside the terminal and all that. These are actually crimp-on type terminals, and then you heat shrink the jacket part, and it heat shrinks it to the wire. So I wanted to kind of go over that with you guys because these are pretty neat. One thing about this is you have to have a special type of crimper for these types of connections, or it really doesn't do you any good to have heat shrink. If you use, let's see here, if you use something like this, or you know, these cheapo things that come in the terminal kits, they have a tendency to go into the terminals and break the plastic, and they're just not good. So these are specially made. They actually say on the package, heat shrink wire connector kit. It doesn't damage the outside shell, but it crimps the metal part inside. Okay, so this next project I'm going to be working on, it's kind of dirty, as you can see. I need to clean it up. But this is a little circle of sound Zenith radio. I believe it's model, what does it say there? Model A424W. And I've always seen the circle of sound Zenith speakers, the larger ones that have, you know, that look kind of like a coffee table. It looks just like this, except for it's a big 12 or 15-inch speaker. And then it's got like a coffee table top on it. You can use them as like end tables or something like that. And but it's got the same cone, right? So you could buy the circle of sound speakers for your Zenith, you know, stereo or whatever. But this is all one unit, and it's mono, obviously, one speaker. And the guy says it works, so I'm going to plug it in here into my dim bulb tester and see what it's doing, if it even works. Okay, so this thing has 3 modes of operation. It has AM, FM, or excuse me, that's automatic frequency control for your FM, and then FM. And then it's got a tone control, a tuning knob, and a volume on-off knob. So let's turn this thing on and see what it does. Whoa, so we got a station. Everything looks good on the dim bulb. All right, so turn that down. The tuning doesn't work, so it just happens to be on a station that's coming in. I think this is 102.5 classic rock station that I normally listen to here. This came from PA, So I know it didn't come from anywhere around here where it would have been already tuned into something, but you can see the dial doesn't move, so obviously something's wrong with it. The dial cord's missing or in-op. And this needle's not where it should. If this is 102.5, which I think it is, you can see the dial indicator's way off. So I'm gonna have to fix that. Let's see if the tone works. Yep. So it's got a pretty good sound to it. That's interesting. I did look at these online on the schematic, and I'm gonna just come out and say that I see this. So the light, the dial light back there, is either not as bright as it should be, or it's not in the right position. You can see it's lighting up some of the stuff over here, but not over here. But anyway, I'm just getting into radio and receivers and tuners and stuff like that. I don't normally deal with that. I normally deal with audio gear, so I'm not messing with, RF or anything like that. And so I noticed on this particular model, it has no power transformer, and it is solid state. So the power transistor on this thing is rated at 35 watts, I believe. I believe it was an SK 3020 or something like that. I'd have to look it up again. But it's like rated for 35 watts. But this unit total power consumption is only 14, which maybe 10 of that is in, I don't even know, probably 5 of that is in the power output. So it's very underutilized. But the collector voltage on this thing was like 80 volts, right? I noticed right away, and I was like, why is it so high, 80 volts? Then I realized it doesn't have a power transformer, and it actually is a transformer coupled to the speaker. So, which is something I'm used to in tube amps, right? But most modern day solid state amps, you don't have a transformer. So this is kind of a transitionary period. I believe these were made in the late 60s. So, kind of a period between tubes and solid state. So they were still kind of using designs like that. I don't know what the advantage of not having a power transformer and using an output transformer, except for maybe weight. But I do know that transistor that's in there is totally underutilized. They could have used a much smaller transistor. But anyway, we're going to tear into this thing in a video coming up and repair it and see what we can find out about it on the inside. So that's coming up. All right, well, that's going to end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you can, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.